There's a little devil inside of all of us. Beneath their manufactured perception, their artificial reality, is a writhing, twisted mess of dread, loathing, judgment, elitism, self-doubt, all thrashing to escape the feeble hold of their host, seeping through every little crevice they can find, into their willpower, starving them of all motivation and desire, into their stomach, forcing them to drown their guilt in comfort food, or into a newly opened gash in their skin, hidden only by the sleeves of a cute new shirt. Such a deplorable, tangled mass is already present in every single one of them. That's why I choose not to blame myself for their actions. All I did was untie the knot.
I guess I can try again. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, let's start a new game. Let's try to save Sayori this time. Huh. That's weird. What's wrong with the title screen?
Wait, what happened? Where's Sayori?
Very often in the beginning, these glitches seem to have happened where Sayori is supposed to appear, but then it's like the programmers forgot that she died, so they're trying to remove her live at the last possible second.
And now Monika is like playing a more active role in the game. She's like replacing all of the bits that Sayori was originally there for. Like right now she's getting me to join the club, which is strange.
Fortunately, when we join the club, things start to calm down a little bit. We didn't get any cupcakes this time, so instead we had to get guilt-tripped into joining. But it's fine. Our character doesn't seem so deterred, so I won't be deterred either. It's a brand new day, and only good things can happen. I mean, Wait. Why did that poster back there just change?
Why is there a poster of Sayori's suicide hanging up in the wall? Why is no one reacting to it? Why is no one concerned about that?
So forget what I said about things returning to normal. Nothing about my experience in this game has been normal in even the slightest. So after the first day, we still all resolved to write poems, and since Sayori is no longer an option, I decided to go with Natsuki. And first off, whenever she talks, sometimes she'll break into this strange black text where she offhandedly starts revealing deeply personal details about herself, such as, "My dad would beat the shit out of me if he saw my manga." And then her eyes and mouth disappeared and turned into what I can only describe as black holes before Monika interrupted saying, "That's just what happens when she's hungry."
All the while I'm wondering what kind of Snickers commercial nonsense did I just walk into. Hey Natsuki, try a protein bar. You're not always you when you're hungry. Better?
So this weird day finally ends, and it concludes similarly to how the first day originally does, with Natsuki and Yuri getting into a fight about poetry styles, but it gets way out of hand really quickly, and the game seemingly starts to fall apart at the seams, when I finally am able to make a choice.
Yuri? Okay, no. Okay, how about Natsuki?
Yuri? Natsuki? Yuri? Natsuki? Monika eventually takes us out of the scene by appearing in front of the text box, mind you, and owns up to being a bad president.
You know what, Monika? Don't even worry about it. There are many other, more terrible presidents out there.
Natsuki ends up leaving with tears streaking her face, and Yuri is completely destroyed by how this all went down. Monika insists with absolute certainty that Natsuki will completely forget about everything.
Now, you say that like you're writing the code there, Monika. But you are the code. You can't be writing the code.
Yuri then requests a few minutes to speak with us, but Monika tells her no. When Yuri resists, the game abruptly cuts away to the poem sequence. Weird. That was a weird first day. But maybe everyone just had growing pains. Weird, black hole eyes appearing in the front of the text box. Growing pains. I'm gonna try for Natsuki again. The second day begins just as you expect it would. Yuri is really worried about her fight yesterday with Natsuki, but lo and behold, Natsuki has not only forgave Yuri, but What? Oh my god, what the heck is that? That is simultaneously the best and worst thing about everything going on so far. The way it moves is just so unnerving.
Imagine if I looked like that. No one would watch my videos.
So Natsuki seems to have completely forgotten yesterday in its entirety, almost as if it was erased from her programming? But before I have a second to think on this, Monika appears and breaks everything up. Oh, and I didn't mention this yesterday, but after what happened with Natsuki's black hole eyes and everything, Yuri also approached me wanting to hang, and it was uncomfortable? She seemed a little out of sorts, which is why I wanted to just hang out with Natsuki today, but Yuri has once again shoehorned her way in.
Which is weird, because I aimed for Natsuki this time around. I'm a poem pro.
This time, when hanging out with Yuri, we follow her out when she goes out to get water for tea, only to discover her cutting herself and seemingly enjoying it? And after all of this, time then just rewinds itself and we all just go on pretending that nothing happened. And that's fine. I can pretend this is an episode of Code Lyoko and I'm Jeremy and I'm about to turn back time. Bam! Back to the past now.
And then things just got worse.
In the middle of reading, she breaks down and claims she doesn't want to read and can't read. She only wants to stare at us. So she gets uncomfortably close and stares us down with hyper-realistic eyes.
Yuri, stop. Please. Please stop. Yuri, stop. Now, I know my 20-word poems are an acquired taste, and I know that objectively you can't even really call them good, but I think they still beat out some of these.
Monika's is the only one I can even grasp, but it's so meta that it's starting to creep me out, especially with all the funky jazz happening, and Yuri's is long, spastic, nonsensical. At least she owns up to that. Then Natsuki's is apparently in some sort of coding language, after which she takes us aside and starts telling us about her bad day.
PartyGod Douglas? Why didn't you read with me today? I was waiting for you. I was waiting a really long time. It was the only thing I had to look forward to today. Why did you ruin it? Do you like Yuri more? I think you're better off not associating with her. Are you listening to me? Yuri is a sick freak. That should be obvious by now. So just play with me instead. Okay? You don't hate me, PartyGod Douglas. Do you? Do you hate me? Do you want me to go home crying? The club is the only place I feel safe. Don't ruin that for me. Don't ruin it. Please just stop talking to Yuri. Play with me instead. It's all I have. Play with me. Play with me!
Well, that happened. I really have no idea what's going on, but everything seems to be falling apart. So, now we're on our way to another poetry section. Why not?
Common sense tells me I should stop here. But morbid curiosity is telling me to keep going forward. I mean, what else could happen? How could it get any worse?
As it turns out, that's exactly what happens. Yuri is being a bad person to everyone at the start, and then we just get to reading poems. Monika seems like she's trying to reach out to me, the player, to help her, which I don't blame her because Yuri is scary as hell right now, especially after she handed me a poem, no kidding, was covered in blood and urine.
Ah, finally. I made the perfect poem for the person that I like. But there's just a couple of other things I need to do. And now one last touch.
That looks like it was written by or for Cthulhu. And Natsuki gave me a poem that is just a cry for help to help Yuri right before her face gets erased and she tells me to go talk to Monika.
So now I don't trust Yuri or Monika, and I'm starting to question what's real or not in my life.
After poems today, we decide on festival arrangements. And when I go to pick, the cursor drags itself automatically to Monika. So now I really am suspicious of Monika, but I can barely manage to pick Natsuki since she scares me the least currently. Wait. What the heck? How are now all the options are Monika, and I guess I have to pick one? So I picked Monika, which Yuri exploded over to the point of telling Monika to go kill herself, and honestly, I don't think my character has said a word this entire day.
And honestly, I don't blame him.
Yuri eventually gets us alone and starts having a full-on yandere meltdown sprinkled with little nuggets of gold such as, I touch myself with the pin I stole from you, before finally making a very impassioned and crazed love confession that we have to say yes or no to.
Which leads to a troubling scenario, because if I say yes, then she's probably going to kill me. But if I say no, then she's probably most definitely going to kill me. So I just decided that the first step to recovery is breaking the illusion. So I'm just going to brace for it and try to be prepared for whatever happens. Yuri, no. I'm sorry, but I don't accept your confession. I'm really worried about you. You've been acting really erratic lately, and it's starting to take a toll on the club. Even that Suki's noticed. She wrote me a note to make sure that you got help. So, come on. Let's leave the club for today and let's go see somebody. Yuri, no, what do you do? Oh, God. Oh, Yuri. Why did you... Oh, God.
Why does everyone who confesses their love to me end up killing themselves? Why am I just staring at this girl's body with random nonsensical text coming out of her as dialogue? I don't know. Let me check the history log. Maybe something will make sense there.
Hi, Monika here. Every day
Welcome
is
to the
full
literature
of super
chat.
excited for you to meet
Always
friends
been
and
all
everyone
my
normal
normal
literature club
club
becoming
things
more
I love.
intimate
Yuri,
for all my
now
members.
that you're a club member,
I can tell already that you're
happens to
the
the
most in
most.
this cute
Will
game.
you promise to spend most of your
The
time with
deceiving
me?
every day is full of chit chat and
Sweet Jesus on a Jesus stick. What is happening? I don't want to stare at this girl's body slowly decompose. I don't want to see the light die from her eyes slowly as they just glass out. I don't want to see the blood just start to thicken and get black. What's going on?
While this was going on, I got a tip from my person that told me to check the game files, and so I did, only to be greeted with a file named Have a Nice Weekend. And that note wasn't kidding, because I had to sit here and watch Yuri's body die and her life drained from her for 3 days and afternoons and nights. By the end of it, I was begging for it to be over. Presumably Monday morning arrives and Natsuki and Monika react exactly as you think they would. Natsuki barely holds in vomit and Monika admits that she really didn't mean for this to happen, and the game's script must be more broken than she thought.
Wait. What was that last...
Which brings us to the final part of the game, where Monika finds out my real name and admits she's the one that's been responsible for all the bad stuff that's ever been happening.
No.
She goes on to admit that she's the one who got me to play this game in the first place, and has been the one sending me all the little hints.
And we get to write one final poem. And this one is probably my best yet. Monika. Monika. Monika, Monika, Monika. Monika. Monika, Monika, Monika. Monika. Ika. Monika. Monika, Monika. Monika. Monika, Monika, Monika. 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 Oh. Monika.
Monika then asks us to go out with her.
I'm in love with you. You truly are the light of my world. When there's nothing else in this world for me, you're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like this every day from now on? PartyGod Douglas, will you go out with me?
Which, after everything we've been through, we do only the most obvious thing and say,
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, everywhere. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look, of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there. Somebody who needs
Monika then tries to follow up getting deleted by pinning the blame on me.
You've killed me. Now all the deaths of all the people I killed to be with you mean nothing, and it's all your fault.
She eventually realizes she is wrong and in this comes to grip with her actions, settling on reviving the game but without her in it. This new version of the game features Sayori as the club president, and honestly everything is a lot better for it. Natsuki and Yuri get along, which is refreshing to see. God, now Sayori is losing her mind. Monika steps in, coming to the final conclusion that this game is filled with nothing but sadness. She thanks me for trying to make the best of it, but eventually sets off to destroy it. And then we get to hear Monika sing a really bittersweet song. And we get to contemplate on everything that brought us to this moment. Oh boy.
And that's Doki Doki Literature Club. There aren't enough words in my vocabulary to describe how much I just love and appreciate this game. From the way it deconstructs typical dating sim and visual novel and anime tropes, while also giving them a thoughtful love letter, to the deeply impactful characters, to the powerful psychological twists and turns, and to the overall game design which really pulls you into the game, even if you're not big on dating sims or visual novels in the first place. It's really a work of art. It's a testament of its time, and it makes me really, really excited what other ideas that Dan and the rest of Team Salvato have up their sleeves. So, thank you, Dan, for giving us a wonderful game, and happy anniversary, Doki Doki Literature Club. I can't wait to see what's next. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on this two-parter video for Doki Doki Literature Club. I never intended for this video to be a two-parter, but when I started writing the script, I just kept writing and writing, and I just couldn't shorten it down or cut anything out. So I figured it's best to go with my heart and do a two-parter than anything else. If you like this, you'll probably like all the other content on the channel, so be sure to give that a look at, like the video, comment, and be sure to subscribe to PartyGod Douglas Productions, because there's more to come. Because remember, every video is a party, and you're all invited to the next one.